The briefing chamber was silent except for the low hum of the oxygen recyclers. Rows of cadets in navy blue uniforms sat at attention, their eyes fixed on the glowing hollow map suspended in the air. It depicted a faded orb, scarred and cracked. Earth, cradle of humankind. "Cadets," barked Commander Jareth, his voice cutting through the air like a plasma blade. "You've heard the phrase before. No cadet can survive Earth. Not for a day. Not for an hour." A ripple of unease spread through the room. The planet had been abandoned 4 centuries ago, deemed hostile after climate collapse, nuclear fallout, and genetic plagues reduced it to a wasteland. The Academy kept it as a cautionary symbol, a reminder of failure, not a destination. But then he said the words that made my pulse surge. "One of you has been selected for the reconnaissance trial. You will descend. You will walk its surface. And you will return, or not at all." I didn't think. I raised my hand. Gasps echoed through the chamber. Cadets turned in disbelief. Some smirked, others whispered, but none of them dared interrupt. Commander Jareth's gaze locked onto mine, sharp as fractured glass. "Cadet Leora Vey," he said slowly. "You volunteer?" "Yes, sir," I replied, though my throat was dry. "If no one survives Earth, then how will we ever learn? Someone has to stand there. Someone has to prove it's more than a tomb." A long silence. Then, unexpectedly, the commander's lip curled in the faintest smile. "Very well. You will descend at dawn cycle." Dismissed. The descent. The shuttle vibrated as it pierced through the dense, toxic atmosphere. My helmet's filter screamed warnings. Radiation high, air pressure unstable, microbial life aggressive. The Academy's ships hadn't breached Earth's skies in centuries, and I was riding into unknown space wrapped in experimental shielding. Outside the viewport, the clouds boiled with violent hues. Green storms streaked with red lightning. Below stretched a land of jagged ruins and twisted forests, glowing faintly with bioluminescent fungus. "Leora Vey, Cadet 3489, the AI in my helmet recited. Mission parameters. Survive 24 hours on Earth. Retrieve biological data. Return alive." My hands trembled on the controls. Return alive. The Academy's saying wasn't metaphorical. Cadets had attempted this trial before, unofficially, secretly, and none returned. My breath fogged inside my visor as I steeled myself. The shuttle landed on what had once been a city. Skeletons of towers leaned against each other, their metal frames rusted into grotesque sculptures. The ground was blackened, yet sprouted with crimson moss that pulsed as if breathing. "Atmospheric toxins at 83%, my helmet AI warned. "Suit integrity stable. Life expectancy. 1 hour without filters, 24 with maintenance." I stepped onto the soil. The moss curled toward my boots as though sensing warmth. For a long moment I simply stood there, stunned. Humanity had fled this world in terror, but it wasn't lifeless. It was fierce, alien, and alive. Middle, the test of survival. The first hours passed in cautious exploration. I moved through hollow buildings, scanning for microbial DNA. The structures were filled with silence except for the whisper of the wind and the occasional distant crash, something large moving far away. Every corner of Earth was hostile. The air tasted metallic, even through my filters. My instruments detected spores that could rewrite DNA within hours. Water sources shimmered with a rainbow sheen, toxic but rich with mutated organisms. Yet there was beauty too. Trees of glassy bark rose in clusters, their branches chiming against one another like bells in the wind. Vast fungal domes glowed pale blue, illuminating streets where shadows of long-dead humans still lingered in collapsed statues. It was on the 5th hour that I encountered the first true danger. From the ruins emerged a creature, shambling yet swift. It resembled a wolf twisted by centuries of radiation, six-legged, its flesh half exposed, eyes glowing violet. It sniffed the air and turned toward me with a guttural growl. Froze. My weapon was a standard-issue plasma sidearm, but its charged cells were fragile in Earth's magnetosphere. I fired once. The bolt scorched the creature's flank, but instead of retreating, it lunged. We collided among the rubble. Its teeth gnashed against my suit, sparks flying as it tried to puncture the plating. Panic surged. I shoved with all my strength, firing again. At last, the beast fell, smoking and twitching, its body collapsing into the moss, which immediately began consuming it. I stumbled back, gasping. My visor's crack line glowed faintly. One more strike, and the creature might have torn through. My 24 hours stretched ahead like an eternity. Cadet V, the AI said calmly. Probability of survival has dropped to 27%. I laughed bitterly inside my helmet. Tell me something I don't know. The hidden signal. By hour 9, I had moved deeper into the city's ruins. The sun was a dim red disk behind storm clouds. Radiation flares flickered like phantom auroras. My energy cells were dwindling, and my water recycler hissed warnings. That was when I detected a signal, a faint rhythmic pulse, not natural static but encoded transmission. My wrist console translated fragments. If you can hear this, Survivor Enclave, coordinates. I stopped cold. Survivors. Impossible. Humanity had left Earth 4 centuries ago. No one could have endured here. And yet the signal repeated. A beacon too precise to be coincidence. My training screamed caution. It could be a trap, a lure from some mutated intelligence. But something deeper pulled me forward. If humans had adapted here, if they had survived, then Earth wasn't a graveyard. It was a second Genesis. I set off toward the signal. The journey was brutal. Acid rain began to fall, searing against my armor. My HUD blurred with warnings. I took shelter in a half-collapsed subway tunnel, where the ground throbbed with fungal veins. My light revealed murals left by desperate hands, painted scenes of rockets launching, families praying, children drawing suns with smiling faces. By hour 16, exhaustion clawed at me. My legs trembled, my filters clogged with spore buildup. But then in the distance I saw it. A dome of shimmering energy rising from the ruins, faint but unmistakable. The signal's source. The revelation. Approaching the dome, I expected weapons, defenses, perhaps more twisted beasts. Instead, the barrier shimmered open like a curtain as I neared. Inside, my breath caught. Humans. Dozens of them, their skin tanned and scarred, their clothing patched together from scavenged materials. Children laughed among bioluminescent gardens. Adults carried tools fashioned from alloy and bone. They stared at me in shock as I stumbled forward, my academy suit gleaming like an artifact from another age. An elder approached, his hair silver, his eyes steady. "You're from the skies," he said, his voice rasping but clear. I could only nod. "They said none would ever return," he continued. "That Earth was lost forever. But we remained. We adapted. The planet is not dead, it tests us. Those who endure belong." Felt dizzy. All my life I had been taught that Earth was uninhabitable, that to set foot here was suicide. Yet before me stood proof that humanity had not only survived but evolved alongside the chaos. The elder touched the moss beneath us. The academy fled. We became something else. Our lungs filter the toxins, Our blood resists the plagues.